How are you doing, David? Happy New Year. How are you? How was your New Year?
It was good. Training yesterday started, so I'm always in training. Everything good.
Well, that's something I always notice on your Instagram. You're always training. You're always in the gym. You train at the UFD gym, correct? In
Yes, UFC
Düsseldorf.
here in Düsseldorf.
You have a
Yes,
lot of fighters there. A lot of fighters.
yes,
I wanted to talk about this. It's been a very stressful year for you because you had two bouts cancelled in 2020. 2020 has been a rough year for most people, but for you, it's been especially difficult because your last fight was a brilliant finish, brilliant triangle choke against Abubakar, otherwise known as Habib's cousin. But you did
yes.
really, really well in 2019, and then you're looking for momentum to run off that, and two fights get cancelled. That must be so stressful for you.
Yeah, you can take it. You can broke on it, or we have to live with it. It's not in our power. It's came a pandemic in the world. It's not only me. Like you said before, it's also other fighters who also cannot fight. Or here in Germany, the organizations also have to cancel a lot of fights for the German guys. And yeah, it's a stressful situation, but I keep doing what I do. It's my job now to training to fight. So I only wait for the point to get the fight. Then my opponent get sick also, my last Mounir Lazzez. So and there wasn't a replacement. But now I'm finally 2 weeks from my next bout, and I hope nothing can stop it.
We really hope so. Really, really hope so. But with the pandemic, how does that is directly affecting Germany? You were telling me that a lot of fights have been cancelled. A lot of promotions haven't been able to put on fights. What's the current situation where you are?
Yes, so you cannot go to nothing. Here's no show allowed. No concerts. No for music or for boxing. Also, okay, some boxing events was, but without the crowd. Without people who can watch it live. But MMA was cancelled. Some amateurs events. Like two or three was here. Yeah, and everything is closed here. So only the supermarket's open, and yeah, that's it. Everything is closed. You can if you go out, you didn't know for what, only to go buy something, buy some food or something, and directly go home and stay here. Or just go for a walk, or sometimes I go for a run because I'm in training, so it's also good. So the corona pandemic is like it's a little bit stressful, but now for my camp it's really good because I have nothing to lose my focus. I'm only in training. Go to training, I come home, I eat, I go to training, I come home, eat, sleep, and repeat the next day. So maybe this was good for this camp.
Yeah, I was about to say, like a lot of fighters, like you hear a lot of fighters, they have to go away from their family. They have to get away with any distractions, anything that could interfere with their camp, right? Yeah, it is really stressful because if someone gets positive for COVID, like it was for you for your last bout, that is a stressful part. However, if nothing's really going on, there's no other distractions, there's no one interfering with your camp. You get to single in on this one purpose. Do you think that is helping you with your camp?
Yes, this is something where you can hold your focus because sometimes you have you are also stressful in the camp, because you have to focus on your training. You have to keep working. You have to diet also the last week, so you cannot go outside to enjoy something. You are only here at home and thinking maybe also a little bit too much about this fight. But I try to keep my focus also. Otherwise, so I met my family. I go sometimes to there on Sundays most, and see also my brother. He has also a fight coming soon now at the end of January, so I see him also a lot. And yeah, we have to meet each other, and because we are humans, I think humans cannot be alone because then you get maybe depressed and think about no good stuff. But for me, I'm focused. I'm good with it.
I mean, yeah, human beings were definitely really sociable creatures, and although you're a fighter and you probably kind of want to be on your own a fair bit, it's pretty tough to do that 24/7 all the time. That's a good segue. You brought up your brother. He's got a fight on I believe the 30th of January, and he fights in KSW. Isn't that correct? So how does that go? He's your older brother. How does that go do you spar with your sibling? Do you train with your sibling? Or do you just separate from each other at different opposite ends of the gym? How does that work?
No, we training more every time. He took me into this sport. Before I played soccer, then because I'm passionately a soccer player. I want to be a soccer player before. But it didn't happen. So he took me to the fighting sport, to keep my focus on sport. And yeah, and I love it. I love the style because it was also boxing or kickboxing, But in mixed martial arts is something different, with the wrestling and grappling. So I like it, and I keep doing it for 10 years now. Yeah, and we spar a lot. He helped me also a lot in my fights, in these fights also, because he have also a fight coming up. So this is a good one, that you have one guy who you can every time work together, because sometimes, my friends from the club, from UFC gym, had also hard fights. So they get also injured in these fights, so they cannot be 100% with me, but they keep working, they keep help me how they can. But with my brother, it's very good because he's in full shape, and yeah, and I hope we will rock this January 2021.
Sounds like a really good start to 2021. You're both getting a fight in the exact same month, probably within a couple of weeks of each other. It's pretty good timing, to be honest, because that means you get a perfect training partner. You're both in prime condition. I'm assuming you guys. So when you spar, and do you also eat together? Do you also prepare your food and go on a similar diet? I know he's much heavier than you. I believe he's at light heavyweight.
Yes.
So he's probably eating a lot more than you.
He can eat very well. He's good. And my brother also is working, so he's not a full pro, because he's also a bus driver here in Germany.
So your last fight in 2019 was against Abubakar Nurmagomedov. I could tell. Did you have quite a high amount of respect for such a high level opponent? Because right after that crack of a triangle choke that you submitted him in the first round with, straight afterwards, after he tapped, you released it, went over, put your arm around him, and you consoled him a little bit, and then you went over and had the normal victory walk. But right afterwards, you went over into him just to console him. Did you have a lot of respect for him?
Yeah, I have the respect for every fighter, because I know how hard it is to lose, and also in his game, because maybe he was comfortable when he was in my guard. He thought he will win this fight, but I see also something different, like you see in the television. Because when I put the triangle on, I saw in his eyes he don't want to tap. He didn't want it. But he must tap. Because then he go to sleep. So this I feel, I know how hard it is to tap or to give up to somebody. So I only want to show him respect, that I'm thankful for that he fought me, and yeah, and all the best for the future.
I get that. I get that a lot. It's good to see that there's a lot of mutual respect between you guys, because it seemed like he also had the same level of respect for you. I also wanted to talk about, so you brought up your last cancelled bout, which was Mounir, who's a Tunisian fighter. Was it pretty annoying that the COVID pandemic has caused some of these pullouts? This seems to be a recurring issue with a lot of UFC cards. They've got a really nice stacked card, and then right before 24 hours or 48 hours before a card, those fighters pull out. It's been pretty annoying that your opponent tested positive and the fight was cancelled.
Yeah, it's not in his power, and the virus is everywhere. If you get it, you get it. You cannot stop it, or you cannot wish that it didn't happen. It happened, he gets sick. I hope he's now healthy again and keep training. Maybe we will see us in future, but now I have another opponent and I'm focused on his game, his style, and yeah, I'm ready to go.
So, Ramazan, who you're fighting next, is on the 16th of January at UFC Fight Night 184. Are you pretty excited for this fight? Now that you've landed a fight, are you really excited to go back in the octagon?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's like uh, I feel like 2 years now. It was 1 year, but I feel like 2 or 3 years more that I know fight. But I always in training because my partners from the UFC gym had fought in the last year. So Roberto, Nurmagomedov, Antun, yes, Elom Ali. I was. And I was also preparing for my fight, so I was like a half year in preparation with some small breaks, but I'm in really good shape this time, and yeah, I'm just focused. I can't wait. Only the one thing what I have to do now is cutting my weight, and yeah, then here we go.
Is ever cutting the weight ever stressful for you? Is it more of a fight than the actual fight? It's the lead up to the fight. It's actually getting on the scales that's an issue for you.
Yeah, it's a part of the game. You have to do it. Um, I mean, it's I don't do it for the first time, so I'm pretty good. It's stressful normally, but I'm good with it. I can control this, and I have never issues with my weight, so no problem.
And is there anything that Ramazan possesses as a skill that could be an issue or like a threat in the fight?
He's a good fighter. He have also good hands. What I see, he's waiting for the clinch. He want to push me. He want to push his opponents against the cage, and to press within the clinch and to take down to ground and pound. I will try to not give him this position, so I will try to move more, to do my style, and my style is mostly I like to striking, but I'm also ready for a ground scramble. I have also good submissions from the back, also from the top. If I will get a good control from the top, I try to hold the position. I will do a good fight. I'm only coming to perform, to do a good show for the mixed martial arts, and yeah, hopefully get the win.
Yeah, I understand that. A lot of the time when we're seeing you fight, you do like to strike. You like to get in these striking matches. But your last fight when you were in the UFC was a triangle choke. Which one do you reckon you prefer? Do you prefer the fast knockout or do you prefer the submission?
I prefer the knockout, but at the end it doesn't matter which one. It's at the end what matter is the win. It is submission, it's a KO, it's a decision. I only want to win and stay in the UFC and climb quickly up.
So without giving away your game plan, how do you believe the fight is going to play out? You said he's going to try and be in the clinch. Is there anything that you think will be something you can capitalize on him?
I think with my speed, I have to move quick, and I think I'm more quicker than him. So I have to try to point him out and to wait for the situation, for the timing, and maybe I will rock him. And if not, if he go into the ground and it's not KO, I will follow, and if he give me some a head or an arm, I will take it for submitting him. But he's a top fighter. He never lose before the time. He always go for the 3 rounds. So I'm this time prepared for 3 rounds. I think it will be a war there. He's not easy to finish. So I think it will be a full matched up round.
That sounds really good because that's going to be a fan-friendly match with you guys going back and forth. Do you really think it's going to be a war? I really see you taking this. Are you sure it's going to be a war?
Yeah, I think yes, because he is tough. I saw not all fights, but I saw tough fights. Also, his last fights with the German guy. He get also pretty good to rock in the first round by the knee, by the jumping knee, and but he rock him, but he wasn't like he's out or something. So he's tough. He has a good chin. Um, yeah, but I think with my speed and with my cardio, I will get the all 3 rounds.
Now, coming back to, I wanted to talk about your nickname, Sagat. Um, are you a fan of Street Fighter? Because the nickname Sagat is actually the name of a famous like Muay
Yes.
Thai fighter you would play in Street Fighter. Where did you like where this nickname come from?
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago. My first fight was like here in Germany wasn't mixed martial arts popular, so they couldn't record it like now the fights. So a friend from me took with his phone, make a video and put it on YouTube. And a friend from me, a very good friend, watched his fights on this phone and said to me, hey, because it's only from one angle, and he looked to it and say, hey, this looks like the game Street Fighter, and I have no hairs, and the tie shots, and he say, and you are Zagat. So it was a funny story. After 2, 3 fights, they asked me what do you like to have a nickname, and I think about this, and I also like to play Street Fighter, and when I took somebody, he was one of my favorite ones.
So you're the real life Sagat in the octagon.
Yeah, yes.
All right, so your gym, UFD in Dusseldorf, it's had awards for being the best gym in Germany. Is there any fighters that we should be? I know you mentioned a few before. Is there any particular fighters? I know you'll probably nominate all your teammates, but is there anyone that we should really keep a close eye on other than your brother?
Yeah, the names what you know is Roberto Soldik, Nurmagomedov, Antun Racic, but they also coming good fighters like new member Lom Ali Eskiev is now with us. There are a lot of good fighters, also young fighters. So they will come. They have only to focus now with the pandemic. It's a little bit hard to train together because we cannot full camp all fighters together. But I hope in some few days or few weeks it will be good and we can all train together like before. And then you will hear a lot of new names. So not in, old members, but new for the population.
Now, why do you think that your gym is getting more and more popular now? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's the actual gym itself, or do you think it's the fighters are there, or perhaps both?
No, I think we are a good team, our team, and we are no choosing fights. We go out, we fight everybody, and we perform. This is what I think it's most important because other, I don't know, uh, they wait for fights or they choose. They say, "Oh, this guy I don't want to fight" or something. The first name what comes to me from the UFC, and I agree. I didn't have. The first 2 fights I took in a short notice, but now I'm a little bit smarter, and I know I have in the top league. In the UFC, you need a full camp, or you have been in good condition. So this, but the first name, what happened was Ramazan Emeev, and I took it, and yeah, and it's not only with me, it's also with Roberto. He's a welterweight fighter. Last fight he fought in the middleweight against Matela, and he don't say, oh, I don't know. He took it in a heavier weight as he is, and yeah, he performed. He he beat him up, and yeah, this is how we act, and this is also we are also a close team. We are very close to each other, and help each other also. So this is our secret, I would say.
Right. So it sounds like you guys, your fires to heart. You'll fight anyone at any time. Just
Just
send us the name, and it sounds like you've got such guys that such good fighters there that you're all sharpening iron, constantly getting better with each other. After you're victorious in the next coming weeks, is there any particular fighters that you would like to fight in the future in the welterweight division? Any particular names or anyone?
For me, it's now anyone. Of course, I want the top guys. At the end, it's a champion. It's now for now it's Usman. We will see what the future will give if he will stay as champion. So I will do my best to get there. And if somebody else gets a belt, so he will be my target. For me, is to be the champion there one day. And I work for it. For this I'm working now, and I will get it.
Now, most likely, we're going to see Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns for the title. Who would you take? Who is your pick for that fight?
Yeah, it's every fight is like 50-50, but I think Usman is a little bit more powerful on the ground, on his wrestling and on his ground game. But Gilbert is, he surprised the last fight. He showed good, in the welterweight division. So yeah, it's a close one. But when I have to put money on this, I will do it to Usman. Because I don't know, I feel it sometimes like this, but I also can be wrong. So yeah, we will see.
Right. Okay. And it sounds like you're going to continue getting opponents until you can fight for the championship. How do you feel that you would present against Kamaru Usman?
I will also avoid this. I know he's a good striker as well, but he will always find also his way to the clinch, to took down, to take the condition of the fighters. This is a style from all wrestlers. You see it by Khabib. He did it 29 times, and 29 times he did it very good, and it works. So, but I think you have to move a lot with these guys. You cannot stay still, because when you stay still and they get you to the wall, they will make you tired. Also when they didn't took you down, they have a good pressure that your arms get like slower. So this you have to avoid, and if you can do it, you can beat them up. You have only to find the timing and the right speed in your punches, and if you get him good, I think so everybody can fall.
Very, very good picks. Now, I wanted to ask you one more question. Now that 2021 is rolling on, we may or may not get fans in the arenas. We might start to get more and more fans coming to the events. Most likely, we're going to start seeing those matchups that we're really dreaming of for these big UFC fights. Is there any fights, particularly in the welterweight division, that you really want to see?
No, so I don't know, and now I have no idea, but what the upcoming fights is what I like to see. Now what is coming next. But for me, I don't know who is this. It's sad that Chimaev now is out. With Leon Edwards, this was the fight what I would like to see, but the health is at the first time. So I wish him all the best for Chimaev. And yeah, we will see what is next. Oh, now I hear that Leon Edwards wants to fight Masvidal. That would be also a good matchup, But now I hear also they want to do UFC want to do Colby Covington against Masvidal. So it's a really very nice matchup there, And yeah, but I am exciting only for my fights, because I want to fight. I want to show.
I mean, it's certainly a busy welterweight division, especially with Jorge and Leon. You mentioned Khamzat Chimaev, definitely a breakout star in 2020. Have you ever interacted with him? Have you ever met him in person?
Yeah, he was like, before he was in the UFC, also 3 years ago, he visited us in our gym, but I couldn't train with him, but I saw how he trained with our fighters, and he show up, and what I see there, I only see that when he is in the UFC, he will be a big problem for everybody, you know. And then the last time when we see and met each other was in Russia when I fight Abubakar. He wished me also good luck and congrats me after the fight. So I have also really respect for him, you know. And yeah, but we are fighters, you know. When the time is coming, when he gets the belt or me someday, and we have to fight each other, so we will fight. But it's business, you know. It's a
Yes.
fight.
Well, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, David. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
talking to us. Good luck in your fight. I believe it's on January 16th, UFC Fight Night 184. Thank you very much for speaking to us. I know you're going to do brilliant, and I can't wait to see you after this fight in your next UFC
Yes.
event.
Okay.
Thank you very much for talking
Thank
to
you.
us.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. Have a nice weekend. Yeah.
You too. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.